Mula sa Luzon, sa Visayas, sa Mindanao at sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong panonood ng Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. And there you see the second leading scorer of the Iloilo United Royals back in action here in the MPBL, Mark Nonoy. Of course, following the departure of CJ Cancino, a lot of scoring will be left on his shoulders as Mark Pingris is also back in action for Biñan Tatakgel after being the leader of the South All-Stars in the recent All-Star game last Saturday in Zamboanga City. Mark actually almost led his squad into a victory against the Giants of the MPBL, but now he is back to try to lead Biñan to their 7th straight victory as they are one of the hottest teams right now in our campaign. Biñan is actually in the playoff picture in the South Division, and let's see if they can push for home court advantage as it is a tough race at that. Thank you for joining us, folks. This is Mixed Comments at your service. Nakita na po natin si Megan Cabrera na nilalaro ni Mark Pingris kanina. Kasama rin natin si Coach Christian Luanzon. Coach Chris, I want you to talk about the impact of Mark Pingris lately.
Well, talk about the impact to first of all, his impact to the league. I mean, Mark Pingris, as soon as people found out that he's going to play in the MPBL, he created a buzz already. And with the impact, I think that was the one that people would question for his availability, being a part of the Moto Club, sila, Meyerhofer, nakasama niya rin dito, sila Aranya, Cardona, they travel a lot. But how about him not only performing but also having an impact on winning?
Yes.
Let alone being an all-star, tulad nga nung nabanggit mo. To me, that's the surprise, especially considering the miles that he has already sa kanyang, very illustrious career, and for him to partake that and to share that here sa MPBL, I thought is special this season.
Well, the commitment is definitely there from Mark Pingris. Sabi ni Robbie Manalang sa akin kanina, minsan siya pa ang nauna sa kanilang practices. But now, let's get the latest from Megan Cabrera. Megan, go ahead.
Migs, para sa Iloilo, they are coming in with the challenge of missing a few key players for today. Pero sabi nga nila, they will not go down without a fight. And sa nabigit nyo nga, Mark Nonoy is here today really hoping to give their team a boost. Para naman sa Biñan, sabi nila, parang dark horse sila sa season na to. No one expected them to come this far. Pero sabi nga nila, trinabaho talaga nila yon. Kaya naman, they will not let down here in their home court. Next and Coach Christian.
Remember that emotional loss by Biñan against Zamboanga? Ever since, they haven't lost in their campaign.
I remember.
6
I was watching in Korea when and then it was such a bad loss, and for to see them now winning 6 straight, which we will talk about, I think is a great response after that loss.
Now let's take a look at our team standings. What's happening in the South Division?
Well, you look at the team standings. This is such an important game for Biñan. Their last 2 after this one, because ang kalaban nila, Marikina and Mindoro. So those are, including this one, 3 winnable games. That means they have a chance to finish 20-8. That also means, mathematically, they still have a chance at the number 1 spot. Obviously, assuming that Quezon loses the last 3, and then Zamboanga the last 2. So anything can still happen. Positioning up to play, home court advantage also comes to play. Iloilo, obviously, just like what Megan reported, they started the season with the hope that they would reach the playoffs at least. Obviously, that's out of the picture. Now, they're looking forward to the next season.
Well, now, let's talk about the previous game of these United Royals. It's been a struggle without their 3 best scorers in Cancino, Nonoy, and Gwyn Capasio, because they do average scoring half of the total points of Iloilo. In their previous outing, they lost by 22 versus Pangasinan.
Not only that, you lose threat from the presence of these 3 na nabanggit mo, the decision-making. When you have a CJ Cancino inside, the attention is all to him. So if you're guys like, the Madrigals, the De La Rosa, that means when you get the basketball, the defense is either rotating or coming from closeout. You look at the numbers right here. This was actually close in the first half. They were only down by 5 until allowing Pangasinan for a 32-point explosion. And this was really their own doing. A lot of their turnovers, 21 turnovers in that game, happened in that third quarter. That resulted into, a Mike Wico, a Robin, and a Lasco layup on the other end. Transition defense was a problem for Iloilo in that game.
On the other end, there weren't a lot of problems for Biñan in their previous win versus Bicolandia, as you got to see Mark Bringus leading the way once more. This is Poy Poy Aktub soaring high in Quezon Province.
Well, he was the best player. The second best player in that game, including that highlight. Pamboy Raimundo was the best player because just like the first game nitong Iloilo, it was a close one against Bicolania, 33-26, until they scored 28 points in the third quarter, 10 of which, coming from Pamboy Raimundo in that game. And what I like about that in the game of Pamboy, he came off the bench, only played 13 minutes, had 13 points. You look at the numbers right here, kaya mataas yung bench points nila. 13 of the 44 galing kay Pamboy. Alam naman natin kakayahan ni Pamboy. Former NCAA champion, obviously a lot of experience under him. He's certainly a general that can lead this team to the promised land.
And he was an MPBL first team selection back in season 3 when he was playing for the Gensan Warriors. It is Biñan versus Iloilo, as now we turn you over to Richard Tapos.
Presented by Extreme. Here are the starters. Let's begin with Iloilo United Royals. Starting at forward number 0, Omar Larupay. Also at forward number 15, Alan Santos. Starting at guard number 25, AJ Madrigal. Playing center number 47, Chadi Rangel. One guard number 11, Rai De La Rosa. The head coach is Jap Sukuan, with Eto Tacorda and Julius Sinon, coaching consultant Mac Kuan, team manager Jay Habilosa, team owner is JJ Habilosa. And now for your Biñan Tataggel Beast Motorcycle GameX. One guard number 0, Pamboy Raimundo. Starting at forward number 11, Jonathan Gray. Coming in at center number 15, Pinoy Sakuragi, Mark Pingris. At power forward number 18, your very own from Kapinpin Street, Mike Maestre. Starting at guard number 62 from Barangay Canlalay, Ronnie Alonte. The head coach is Boyet Fernandez. His assistants are Gino Manansala, Gino Manuel, Eliazar Cabutotan, J.R. Manansala, Jerwin Gago, Enrico Meyer-Hofer. Team manager Jojo Cunanan.
It is a homegrown start for Biñan Tataggel, as the starting fives are brought to you by Sports Max, powered by Playmax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL Win to the Max. So the homegrowns, Ronnie Alonte, Mike Maestre, and Jonathan Gray will be joined by Mark Pingris and Pamboy Raimundo. As on the other end, it's Rai De La Rosa with AJ Madrigal. They also have Chadi Rangel, Omar Larupay, and Alan Santos to kick things off for Coach Jap Skuan. Thank you for joining us. This is Mix Gomez alongside Coach Christian Luanzon and Megan Cabrera. And Coach Chris did break down that Biñan still has a lot of implications moving forward in their last 3 games as they try to get a better seeding in the South Division.
Well, totoo yan, no? And syempre, pati yung mga teams na nasa likod nila, which we forgot to mention, because I was looking more at the positive side of it, with them, at 17-8. But at the same time, if they, I don't see them losing, this one and the next 2 games, playing non-playoff teams, below 500 teams. Pero at the same time, you want to secure, at least that number 4 spot up to this point, because Parañaque is at 15-10, Davao is at 15-12, South Cotabato is 15-11. So they have 3 teams that still has a chance to at least win, about 18, 17 games.
Yes.
Kaya kailangan pa rin nila manalo.
So that's good for the MPBL because there's that storyline both in the North and South divisions. A couple of teams playing for home court advantage. As now this is Omar Larupay attacking versus Jonathan Gray.
A tough shot.
Larupay is a streaky scorer for Iloilo, and it's one of the weirdest stats that I've ever encountered in the in the MPBL, because Larupay has had 3 games when he scored in double figures. After that, the rest of the 8, it's 3 points or less.
Right. So medyo extreme.
Oo.
Oo.
It's either a really bad game or a good game, or a great game at that for Omar Larupay, as Madrigal misfires. This is Jonathan Gray attacking and scoring. And now the Biñan team at the bench can sit down.
I never understood that rule, by the way. So I've been so many a part of teams. During the time when I was still playing, I don't think I was a part of a team wherein inaantay namin makashoot yung mga kasama namin.
Talaga? Even as a coach, hindi kayo ganun?
I think, not coming from us, but I think last season, I don't think this season the players did it. We're only in our first game. I don't really notice.
Alan Santos just scored, by the way, for Iloilo.
Pero kung ako player, upo na ako. Ang tagal ko nag-warm up eh. If I'm not starting the game, uupo na ako.
Dagdag warm up pa pala yun. This is a forward pass onto Alan Santos, who's all alone.
Easy 2 on the quick rebound by Iloilo, 1 and done sequence from defensive rebound to easy layup.
It's a nice start for Alan Santos. Jonathan Gray gives it up to Ronnie Alonte. Now it's Mark Pingris. Back to Ronnie. Nice setup. Alonte. That was tight. Oh, he scores off the glass.
I was about to say, not a good decision to drive to the side where the pass came from, which was Mark Pingris. Nabangga niya yung sarili niyang teammate, but still the concentration to pull off that one-legged shot fading away.
Alan Santos could not answer back. Nice block by Mark Pingris.
I believe Pingris had 2 blocks in that play. That first move, which he read so well, partially blocked up top.
This fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Max, powered by PlayMax, the official online entertainment partner of the MPBL. Win to the max. It's Alan Santos scoring for Iloilo, before he was blocked by Mr. Pingris, who had to dive for that ball, crashing onto the A-board, as the perfect example for leadership for Biñan Tatakjel.
Poor foul by Biñan. Only 3 seconds remaining in the shot clock. Chadi Rangel going nowhere. I think tira. Kasi pinuntahan niya kung saan galing yung pasa kay Mark Pingris. Still able to convert.
De La Rosa on the other end. Short. Rebound Maestre. And here's Poundboy going on to Jonathan Gray.
So minsan ang basketball weirdo. Yung drive doon ni De La Rosa, yun ang tamang ginawa niya. Walang tao ron, pinuntahan niya yung spot pero mintis.
It's Jonathan Gray fading away and able to convert for Biñan. Yun, tama ba yun?
Minsan yung mga mas mahirap na tira, yung pang pumapasok. Pumapasok yung galing ng player.
Yes.
Jonathan Gray, mahusay naman lalaro.
4 minutes gone by in this game. Alan Santos, Omar Larupay, attacking and scoring. That's another tough shot. So yeah, 2 points na si Omar. Ang tanong, will he get over that 3-point mark? Bounce pass. Nice feed by Ronnie. Sorry miss by Maestre.
I wouldn't say that was a sorry miss because I thought it was a good contest to force the miss. Pero ito, magandang defensive stop. Pero gandang transition defense. Alonte, napalpal ni Madrigal. Oh, let me say that again. AJ Madrigal with the block. A former player of ours.
Oh, now it's an 8-second violation.
Yun lang.
Wow. Very unfortunate. AJ Madrigal having a nice interaction with Coach Christian. No one's on. There's the rejection.
The former Gilas under 16, I believe, and played for LSGH. Kasabay ni Richie Rivera yan. Known as a shooter, not really known as a defensive player. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, AJ, ganda nung block na yun ah.
Yeah. Just had to give credit to him as now Poundboy. Raimundo misfires. Rebound Maestre, who turns around and misses.
Yun ang sorry miss. Pero ang ganda pa rin ng effort sa rebound. Ganda rin sana nung galaw ni Maestre.
Maestre has 3 boards,
Nice
0
backdoor.
points. Foul is called before that last feed. It's on Ronnie Alonte.
Nabanggit ni Megan kanina, no, yung mga missing bodies nitong Iloilo, especially compared when they started the season. Sabi ni Alan Santos, napipilitan daw siya mag-point guard. Ayun, siya yung pumasa doon sa backdoor. Kaya na-foul si De La Rosa. De La Rosa catch and shoot. Short.
We're back with Pamboy Raimundo. 6 all. And there's 4.5 minutes in the opening frame. Pamboy crosses. Raimundo spins, creating space. A miss.
Well, excellent defense by De La Rosa right there. Moving his feet, not biting on the pump fake, the up and under, and keeping his body in between the basket and his man. Na si Raimundo.
Recovery here for Iloilo. It's Pamboy. Going to Jonathan Gray. Alonte was wide open.
He was for about 5 seconds.
6 on the shot clock. Nice play. Another miss by Maestre, but Pamboy is there for the cleanup.
But that's the thing, when you execute to at least a decent shot, the chances of you getting the offensive rebound mataas. And how about that, yung nakakuha pa yung point guard mo.
You argued that Pamboy Raimundo had a great game in their previous outing.
He did.
Scoring 13.
13 and 10 in the third quarter on that 32-point explosion in the third.
Oh, a nice contest by Larupay.
But again, Pamboy, offensive rebound once again, pero napalpal ni Rangel.
Can slow down. I would actually argue that it's 13 consistently for Raimundo in the last 7 games. That's how good he has been for Biñan. Jonathan Gray, no good. Raimundo with another board.
Pangatlong offensive rebound na yan.
Here's Mark Pingris. On to Pamboy all day. Too easy. It's all worth it for Pamboy Raimundo, who now gets rewarded for all of his hard work getting those boards. His 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances.
Well, wide open is Raimundo. The defense wasn't even in a scramble after the offensive rebound. Everybody just ball watching. Nanood.
That's 5 points and 3 boards so far for Pamboy Raimundo. It is 11-6 under 3 minutes in the opening frame. This is our player matchup. It's Rai De La Rosa versus Pamboy Raimundo.
Well, 2 different players. Rai De La Rosa, really a 2-guard. He's a guy where we've seen you can make plays for him. He can catch and shoot in situations. Also a terrific defender, in my opinion. Pamboy Raimundo, on the other hand, has that experience, a championship NCAA experience, professional experience, obviously, before this. And to me, in the best shape of his career. Look how lean he is.
Let's now listen in to Megan Cabrera.
Migs, Rai De La Rosa says that coming from a basketball family, one thing he really puts a premium on is how he carries himself, and that's going even beyond the game. And at the same time, he approaches the sport very intentionally, so he tries to really take everything he can in, gets the most out of those teaching moments, and gives what he can to the game. Para naman kay Pamboy Raimundo, as a veteran, naging mas mindful nga rin siya, lalo na pagdating sa pag-alaga sa sarili. And as you mentioned, he is probably in the best shape of his career. And in this journey of proving how their team can be competitive in this league, naging mas kuya nga raw siya talaga. So he is vocal as a leader, guiding the younger ones and really making sure that he is able to share his experience to his younger teammates. Next, and Coach Christian.
There you have it. Some validation not only from Coach Christian but from Megan as well. And it's because, as Jonathan Gray makes a 3-pointer, I asked Pamboy kung kamusta na yung feel niya this season in terms of his shape, his game because of his great consistency, and he said it's looking similar to how he was back in his Jensen form.
I remember.
Yun yung mythical 5 selection niya.
And that's obviously not only a good sign, but also evident in terms of, at the end of the day, it's all about the end result. And Biñan right now at number 4, was a 6-game winning streak. Yun yung resulta.
Yes.
And they look to be on their way on a 9-game winning streak before the playoffs, which is always good. And it's obviously a good sign to finish the season that way. And let's see pagdating ng playoffs.
Jonathan Gray unable to score inside. Here's Mark Nonoy. He just converted with a 3 a while ago. This is his first game back since the last day of July. De Vera on to Jay Javilosa for 3.
Well, he's always had that touch from the outside. Itong si Jay Javilosa, or Boss Jay, as they would call him.
We're seeing tall lineups with Leo De Vera and Jonathan Gray as small forwards. Tony Alonte, 7 on the shot clock. Alonte defended well by Gab Gomez. 3 on the shot clock. Jonathan has to fire. In and out. Rebound JJ Pido. That's a miss. And here's Mark Nonoy. Oh, Mark Nonoy pulls up. That's a 3, his second in this game.
No, the art of war. Yung tirang yun, no? Yung deception. Akala mo, ipo-pull back. Set, set, set. Hindi pala. Set shot. Ito si Mark Nonoy. And he pulled that one off. And more importantly, knocked it down.
Welcome back, Mark Nonoy.
Reminds me of my former teammate.
Who?
MJ.
Si Emer Joreta.
Michael Joreta. Emerson Oreta. Set, set, set. Set shot. Especially nung panahon namin. Kasi after an offensive rebound, the reset was 24.
Right.
Yeah, so coaches, our coach at that time, Coach Arik, syempre, mas stricto kasi full 24 instead of 14 ngayon. Ito yung atake ni Alonte. The left-handed Alonte finishing with the right.
That's Jonathan Gray.
Sorry, Jonathan Gray.
Yeah, the other homegrown.
Parehas kasi guwapings eh.
Ayun, guwapings din. Si Alan Santos able to score for Iloilo.
Dapat Biñan tatak. Ano to eh? Guwapings gel to eh.
Minutes 15 to 14 after 1. Mark Nonoy is back in the MPBL to finish out his season with Iloilo, already with 6 points halfway through his scoring average of 12. His first quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball any partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. There we see the last 2 games of Biñan. The next one will happen here at home on September 17 versus Marikina. And then it's Mindoro on September 20. As much as we have been arguing that these are teams with losing records, these 2 teams are capable of giving us upsets in the MPBL.
Yeah, definitely. But considering what's at stake for Biñan, again, I see them winning those games. Remember, it only takes 1 point to win a basketball game. So, to your point, when you go up against like Marikina, Mindoro, who obviously is out of contention, they're playing without pressure, they're playing loose. And at times, it's dangerous to play those kind of teams. It feels like every shot is going to go in, especially pag maganda yung first half nila.
Yes, Mindoro has defeated teams like Pasay and Quezon Province, while Marikina had only a 1-point difference versus Pampanga at the start of the season. As Leo De Vera shoots, that was short. Back with JJ Pido. Biñan is down by 3 points. Kenny Rocakurva, the All-Star, is now in. Alabanza will score.
So nice play right there. Handoff, empty corner. Rocakurva rejects the screen. A little short roll and that jump stop by Alabanza, showing the touch on the jump hook. What a tough shot. Forced by Pido on Nonoy.
That's a nice matchup. Here's JJ. Down the middle. JJ Pido. No bounce. Recovery for Gimpayan. It's Carlo Lastimosa. Short stab for him.
Coach Boyet looks at Pido and telling him what kind of a finish was that. Ano klaseng finish yun? Buti na lang. Ball ends up or lands really in the lap of Lastimosa on the offensive rebound. Shows that one-hander from the free throw line.
Yes, and we credit Jamer Gimpayan, who's one of the best in the league in offensive rebounding. As Lastimosa misses, Gimpayan with another board.
Well, you talk about Gimpayan. We talked about Pamboy Raimundo being the best player in the last game. Pero ito si Gimpayan had a big game himself 2 games prior to that. I believe it was against Sarangani, wherein he had 18 points.
Double-double, yeah.
Yeah, like 15 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass.
Well, he does average 3.5 offensive rebounds per game.
Right.
And 9 total boards, which is number 6 in the entire league.
Right. In the last game, was not able to, see action. He wasn't a part of the lineup, which, para sa kaalaman lang ng mga viewers natin, every game you could change your lineup. I believe 24 hours before, you got to pass your lineup already.
And we all know about the depth of Biñan.
Right. Usually your official roster is 20. And then the official lineup for each game is 15. So in the last game, for example, they had Tyron Chan. That's my guy from St. Stephen.
You coached him?
No, but same alumni.
Okay.
Same alumni, high school alumni. And even si Aktub, which I believe is not active tonight.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
St. Stephen din yun?
Hindi. Pero
Akala ko.
just to get to the point that you could change your lineup
Right.
every game.
It's a 3-pointer for Biñan, much to the delight of JJ Pido.
You know who's from St. Stephen?
Who?
Coach Gold.
Yeah, that I know. Hindi ko lang alam kung sino kinoach nyo back then. As Ongteco fires and scores. Now that guy was forced to shoot a lot in their previous game. He had his season high 10
14?
field goal attempts.
Yeah,
And
had 14 points.
12.
12, yeah, Ongteco.
Season high 7 rebounds and 22 minutes of play as well for him. Because they did miss out on their usual scorers. So now it is a turnover for Biñan. There's Carlo Lastimosa, also another example about the depth of Biñan. Carlos missed a couple of games for Tatak Gel.
Yeah. Hindi po nagpapahinga si Coach Boyet. That's a picture of stress, by the way, after the turnover by Biñan.
Here's Kenny Rocakurva, blocked by Jed Diaz.
Yeah.
Recovery.
Semi-chase down.
JJ Pido. Down the middle. Pido is fouled. There's Jed Diaz, who used to play for Ateneo, but not necessarily the UAAP team. He was in Team B. He never encountered him, though.
I don't think so, yeah.
Pero sobrang sipag daw niyan, and it has translated here in the MPBL. Tarupay returns. JJ Pido is at the line.
Ang naalala ko lang si Richard
Richard
sa Iloilo, si Gomez.
Richard Gomez.
Sorry, Gab Gomez.
Now let's go back to Megan Cabrera.
Migs, Mark Nonoy being out here is really him being professional and finishing out his commitment. And he shares he will not burn any bridges, he will give his best, and he will end strong with this team. And that is something that Terra Firma is also very supportive of. he does share may konting challenge ang pagbalik, especially maraming naging changes sa lineup since his last outing. He has been juggling 2 training regimens at syempre, he doesn't want to take away from his other teammates. But the openness remains within their team at syempre, they are still one with their biggest goal being winning. Migs and Coach Christian.
There really is a lot of pride from this Iloilo franchise in terms of having their players drafted. Perfect sila. 6 out of 6. As Lasimosa just scored for Biñan. And their highest draftee is Mark Nonoy. We're very proud of him because he made the top 10.
Right.
There's a foul on the attempt by Onteco.
As much as I love to, to give out sweet words, but it's still, that bitterness in my tongue is still there because tuwing nakikita ko si Nono naalala ko yung talo namin sa kanila
Yeah.
At saka si Gomez 2 seasons ago, last season.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
No, but kidding aside, this is a good first step from a from a professional standpoint, from Mark Nonoy, as reported by Megan, being drafted, having an existing contract, and sorting it out, finishing the remaining games of this season, para to put it to bed.
Yeah.
And I think the key right there in that report is not to burn bridges.
Yes.
Which in life, napaka-importante niyan. And as a player, I think is important as well. So a good start for him sa kanyang professional career.
Nonoy, bit of a heat check there as he tried to go for his third three-pointer. It's 26-24. Here's Carlo Lastimosa. Down the middle. Nice swipe by Larupay. Recovery, though, for J.R. Alabanza.
Well, let's see if this play can somewhat provide a spark for Biñan because, sensing yung parang vibe nitong Biñan coming into this game, they had this mindset that they would parang blow out itong Iloilo from the get-go. It has not been the case.
Yes.
And you got to give credit for Iloilo because they're not just throwing up some shots. They're defending. They're executing in the backcourt. They're forcing a couple turnovers here and there, challenging shots. So let's see if that play can somewhat spark itong Biñan to finish the quarter stronger.
Well, one could understand that point from the perspective of Biñan having that 6-game winning streak that included wins versus Davao, Nueva Ecija, and Caloocan.
Right.
Which would make you think na manageable talaga ang Iloilo as Rai De La Rosa makes a 3-pointer. And to your point, these Royals have shown up and showed off here in Biñan, Laguna. That trims the lead down to 2 points, 29-27. Babalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. We are inside the Alontes Sports Arena for Biñan Tatak Gel versus Iloilo following the victories of Rizal versus Imos and Nueva Ecija versus Sarangani. Byron Villarias was the best player for the Rice Vanguards with 15 points, and Alwin Alday finished with a career high of 43 for the Golden Coolers against Imus Agimat.
43 in 23 minutes.
In 23 minutes.
Yeah.
I like what the couple did at the sideline. Naging kiss cam ang ating feature dito sa MPBL as J.R. Alabanza scores for Biñan.
Who looks to be having quite a game.
He's up to what?
7? Yeah. Steal.
Roca Curva. All the way.
Nanakot pa, no? Libreng layup sa gitna, nag-bounce pa ng mga isa o dalawang beses. Importante pumasok. Pakabalang.
Before this game, I had a conversation with Alvin Baichong. And he gave me an interesting comparison to Kenny Roca Curva. As JJ Pido will wait for a teammate and Kenny will score. Baichong compared Kenny Roca Curva to Adrian Nocum. Your thoughts about that? Remember Nocum from last year?
I do. Well, that's a tough comparison because to me, those are two different players. Two athletic players, certainly. Two finishers off the break. I would still give the upper hand to Adrian Nocum. He just has a knack of finishing up in the air. And at the same time, a knack for scoring the basketball. He's the type of player where when you give the basketball, he can do a lot of things.
Well, he's done a lot in the PBA already.
Right.
As Kenny is an all-star
Ito na yung
in
run
our
ng Biñan.
campaign. There you go, a double-digit lead. Their biggest in this matchup. Back for Biñan versus Iloilo. Biñan is now starting to pull away, up by 10. Their biggest in this matchup against AJ Madrigal and his unique hairstyle for tonight's outing. Ano tawag dyan, Coach Chris?
I call that the UP effect.
The UP effect?
Halos, ewan ko ba? Alarcon, Abadiano.
Oo nga, no?
Kulang na lang si Maymay. Si Maymay mahaba buhok pero hindi naman nakaganyan na, parang puppy.
Kanino nagsimula yun?
Hindi ko alam.
Tinanggap nyo na lang din. You saw the scoring in this quarter.
Buti na lang, maiksi buhok ni QMB. Mahaba rin.
Si Quintin Miriola Brown.
Pero, nung naglalaro siya ng kolehiyo sa US, mahaba rin.
Mahaba rin. Yun ang nickname niya, QMB.
Well, that's his initials. Quintin Milora Brown.
Yeah. It sounds like Wemby. And he could very well be the Wemby of UP. As Madrigal is blocked by Alabanza. What a performance by JR. Magandang gising ni Ginoong JR Alabanza. Well, that's good, especially knowing the fact that KG Canaleta is still unavailable to play. He has a toe injury. And he actually suffered it in their matchup versus Nueva Ecija when he was the best player. Nice steal.
Steal by Madrigal.
He goes all the way. That's a foul. How about the effort by Roca Curva?
He's asking for a review na baka goaltending.
Kasi gumalaw yung board.
Oo. Pero hindi na i-review.
Well, kung nauna yung foul, malabo na rin talaga yun.
Pero hindi na rin kinontes ni Coach Japs Kuan.
And can you actually challenge it? Kasi selected lang yung pwede mong i-challenge eh.
I'm not sure if you can challenge it, but if you, I believe you could create enough attention, by calling the attention of the refs, at least to review it. Because nakita na natin nangyari how many times already this season with the games every day. Minsan kahit hindi mo na kailangan i-review pa eh.
Yeah. Balik tayo kay JR Alabanza. This is Robbie Manalang. Already a part of our 1,000 points club. Robbie converts.
Certainly a player who will never lack confidence of shooting the basketball kahit nakakapasok pa lamang niyan, which, a minute ago, kakapasok lang yan.
And wouldn't you also put him in that underrated players list of the MPBL.
I wouldn't call it underrated because he has performed in the bright lights already, especially in the UAAP, you know, playing under Coach France, that Adamson team that fell short. He was a part of that already, right?
Papi Sar, who's the shooter?
Wasn't he there when they had a 2 seed and then you know twice to beat?
Yeah, I think he was there.
Them, yeah.
Nung rookie pa si Jerome.
Oh,
Sino yung shooter? Ahan Misi.
Misi.
Yeah, that was the era. Sean Manganti. Sila. As far as I can remember. We have another timeout, 40-30. We present to you the last 3 games of Iloilo in their campaign. They will take on the red-hot Bataan Risers on September 17. And then it's Val City with playoff implications on September 24 inside the West Arena. And then they will take on Sarangani on September 28. Before we proceed, I'd like to greet our very own Ferdy Madolid. A happy birthday. He's one of the drivers of the MPBL. Ferdy, maraming salamat sa serbisyo mo at sana'y masaya ka sa iyong kaarawan.
Happy birthday po, Kuya Ferdy. Looking forward na ipag-drive mo kami ni Mings balang araw.
Biglang nagka-service.
Okay.
Kaya pala tayo
Pero
babati.
huwag ka mag-alala, Kuya Ferds. Hindi ngayong araw yan. Birthday mo eh.
Oh.
Naka-birthday leave ka malamang.
Actually, he might be here.
Nandito siya?
He might be working.
Double pay.
Kung pwede lang sana. It is 40-30. Robbie Manalang will inbound.
Alam mo kung pwede yun. Papagawa kong ID araw-araw, birthday ko.
Gimpayan, cross court. Peña Redondo will fire. No good and no bounce for Joseph. It's a better second quarter for Biñan, having outscored Iloilo by 11. 26-15. A minute and 12 before halftime. Gab Gomez. Bounce pass to Alan Santos against Alvin Baichong. That's a nice matchup. Santos tried to back down. Then he shoots.
Sumubok eh, no? Naramdaman niya yung bigat ni Baichong. Mas mabigat sa akin. To step back na lang. Ayun, forced him into a tougher shot. Etong si Baichong.
And, well, Alan almost made it to no avail. As now we go back to Robbie Manalang. Against this zone of Iloilo.
Yeah, 2-3. Little shallow cut by Peña Redondo.
They swing it over, Junji Halyare. It's a good play onto Alvin Baichong.
And Manalang gives him a smile, I believe, because the play before that, they were running a play that, you know, medyo nawala itong si Baichong. Pero doon, hindi nawala yung tira niya. Pumunta diretso sa net.
Mark Nonoy will fire. Short. Rebound. Gimpayan, who almost lost it out of bounds. And here's Peña Redondo. No more shot clock. They wisely slow down. It's man-to-man for Iloilo. 8 seconds. A foul given up by Gomez.
Now, very important for Iloilo to get a stop here. Because if Biñan scores, they could extend it to 14 as much as 15. Mabigat yun kasi papasok ng third quarter, Biñan will have first possession to start the third.
6 seconds. Robbie Manalang. He will fire from way out. Too strong. Oh, that's tapped in by Junji Halyare. And there's your point.
Oh, not yet. But obviously momentum on the side of the home team in Biñan, which means having first possession of the third. This has to count because they could extend that lead to 17. So the last two possessions, how you finish the quarter and how you start it, sometimes has a great effect to the outcome of the game.
This halftime score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX.
Still here at the Alonte Sports Arena and we are at the half of Iloilo versus Biñan. Kasama ko nga ang ating dalawang all-stars, ang team managers ng Iloilo at ng Biñan. We have Jay Havelosa and of course, Jojo Cunanan. Simula tayo sa'yo. I mean, recently concluded all-star games. How was that experience overall?
Very good hosting. Thank you to shout out to the host, Ma'am Kat Chua, and then the Todo Action Group. Thank you for the hosting, and then Zamboanga also. Very fun, and yun nga, naganaan kami sa shooting ni Boss Jojo Cunanan.
Para naman dito sa larong to, nakita naman natin how Iloilo was really able to fight it out and stay close, especially in that first quarter. Ano sa tingin mo yung things that worked out and things that you will be working on in the second half?
We were running the system well, and then we weren't we weren't committing any turnovers. I think that was our problem in the second quarter. Obvious naman na we made 3 or 4 consecutive turnovers, kaya nag-run yung Biñan. So hopefully we take care of the ball in the second half and keep this close.
Meron ka ba mga greetings or shoutouts that you wanna, really get out there?
First of all, I would like to greet my fiancée Natalie watching back home, and I'd like to greet Senator Manny Pacquiao. Thank you, Sen, for the MPBL. And I'd like to give a shout out to my dad, Boss JJ, my mom watching, and then my siblings. And I'd like to greet our LGU partners, Lone District Congresswoman of Iloilo, Jam Baronda, and then Bagong Kalibo Mayor Sir Jury Sucro, and then our sponsors, GameX Sports, Victoria Sports Tower, Jerry's Grill, and shout out to all the people of Iloilo. Keep supporting the MPBL.
Dito naman tayo sa kabilang dako, ang teammate ni Sir Jay, Sir Jojo Cunanan. Sir Jojo, second quarter, you were really able to pull away. Ano sa tingin nyo yung naging spark? And syempre, paano nyo itong ipagpapatuloy sa second half?
Ayun na lang, maganda yung defense namin, tapos nakukonvert namin yung turnover ng kalaban. So sana magtuloy-tuloy para ma-maintain namin yung lamang namin.
Syempre, I'm sure you know more about pagiging lamang, pagiging champion, lalo na sa recently concluded All-Star Games. Ikaw naman, kamusta yung experience na yun?
Sobrang saya. Lumaban yung North sa amin so lumaban din kami. Ayun. Congrats sa South. And thank you sa Zamboanga, syempre. Sila yung nag-host. Sobrang an-entertain nila kami maayos doon. Thank you.
Any shoutouts or greetings?
Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako sa mga taga Biñan sa tuloy-tuloy na support nila sa amin. Kay Vice Jiel Alonte, kay Boss Rubentan ng Beast Motorcycle Tires sa GameX, kila Ma'am Rina, kay Boss Monching Talisayo na nanonood lagi ngayon. Si Boss Atek, si Boss West, si Boss Antet. Yun lang. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much to our 2 executive All-Stars. More second half action when we return.
Our halftime score is 44-30 in favor of Biñan Tatakgel after doubling the scoring output of Iloilo in the second quarter. It was 15-30, a major turnaround for the home squad. And Coach Chris, how were they able to pull it off?
Well, Biñan with a slow start, no? Basically, that first 15 minutes of this game, gotta credit Iloilo because they ran on opportunities. They weren't necessarily, trying to push the pace, but because of their defense, they had, they forced misses. They were able to force at least 6 turnovers, although they had more compared to Biñan. But Iloilo, that first 15 minutes, you could say that they controlled that game. That's why, as we mentioned, itong si Coach Boyet wasn't too happy.
Yeah.
Our cameras was
Focused
on him, and we saw a lot of those moments wherein he was displeased with his team. But I thought that if you remember, in that play by Alabanza, wherein they were able to execute, he was a short roll, got a 3-point play. I thought that was the start of it. It was something that they built on all throughout. They went to an 8-0 run, which was their biggest scoring run, 37-27, and then lo and behold, after that, now the score is 44-30, and just like how we mentioned as they finished the second quarter, Biñan able to beat the buzzer of a tip-in, and they have first possession. Let's see if they score right here.
Pamboy Raimundo is in the game with Mark Fingris, Mike Maestre, Kenny Roja Curva, and Jonathan Gray. Almost a turnover there. Then on the shot clock, Pamboy. They go to Kenny. He drives, and he almost scored. 2 free throws.
Well, excellent patience and recovery that time. They were looking for Roca Corva on the curl on the first initiation, but he saves the ball, which I thought Rangel could have, stole the ball on that save. Pingris reverses to the other side, and then, pretty much the same action. Roca Corva gets the basketball on the lift, and then the drive to the basket with a foul. As you see, yan. The original Goping.
Yes.
Oh.
Vice Gel Alonte with the St. Stephen alum, Tyrone Chan, and KG Canaleta.
I love how you delivered that.
Of course, I had to remember it.
Yeah.
KG, by the way, I mentioned has a toe injury. He's expected to miss the next few outings. Actually, the next game na lang pala.
Right.
Kasi ang target niya, at least maka-isang game bago mag-playoffs.
Just to ramp up before the playoffs.
This is Chadi Rangel on to Rai De La Rosa. Rangel back at it.
Good
Chadi, no basket.
Good move. Just the finish, not there.
Chadi also came from a Chinese school, right?
I believe so.
Hope? I think it was Hope Christian. Let me check that. As now, it is Pamboy Raimundo who's able to convert. Tama.
Extends it to 17.
Hope Christian nga. Si Chadi Rangel.
Yeah. Boss Boss Bernard Young.
Under Coach Gerson siya back in the day. Yun kalaban ng St. Stephen yun.
Yes.
With the Chiang Kai-shek, ganun.
Yes. Ono High School, Grace Christian.
Yun, Grace Christian, sa payan. Jonathan Gray. Cross court, Pamboy. Now to Kenny. They go to Pingris, almost a steal by AJ.
Who has had a couple in that first half.
Actually, in that game, when he was best player, he did have a couple of steals. As Roja Curva misfires. Rebound, Gomez. This is Rai De La Rosa, a 3-pointer. No good. Kenny will push. Pamboy at the right side. Raimundo, one more feed. Ball up to the sky. Recovery for Pamboy. Bounce pass to Kenny. Biñan staying patient. Roca Curva, strong side.
I love the patience ng Biñan. Couple opportunities opened up there, but they waited for the best opportunity, and that's Roca Curva, as you mentioned, driving and finishing on his chef long side, strong side.
Gab Gomez answers back with a 3 on the other end. He is a no-shooter after all.
Oh, I know that for
Yes.
sure.
Oh, he was big in the finals, I remember
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you for helping me remember.
It's Pamboy Raimundo coming up big once more.
Also a player who is not afraid of the big moments. Former NCAA champ. Kasabayan nila Abueva yan. That was a stacked team.
De La Rosa answers back.
Ian Sangalang.
Di ba may trio yun?
Yeah. Sangalang siya, Pascual.
Oh, that's a foul.
Sakuragi with a Sakuragi type of move.
And Chadi Rangel had to immediately go to him to help him up. Respeto mo na lang yan eh. So one of the greatest in Philippine basketball.
Yeah. And it's good sportsmanship.
Yeah. But you saw the look from Chadi. It was extra care.
Yeah.
Mark Pingris had himself a nice all-star game. His numbers are 6 and 6, but relatively speaking, in the last couple of outings, parang nag-level up eh.
Yeah.
Si Mark Pingris.
Let me guess. He also signed the most autographs.
As he should.
Yeah.
As he should. Siya rin ang pinakamalakas na hiyaw sa Zamboanga City, alongside Choi Ignacio, of course. The homegrown. Mark Pingris able to convert. This is Mark Nonoy, who scored 7 points in the first half. This is his first game back in the MPBL. AJ Madrigal. So Alan Santos. Hand off to Mark. Catch and shoot. No good. Rebound Pingris. It's an 18-point advantage. Jonathan Gray for 3. Too strong. That's a push by Mark. It's a nice interaction between Pingris and Santos.
It's called mind games. And if you don't know that game, it's something that you cannot buy in a bookstore.
Yeah. It's through experience. Alan Santos would know about that. He's unhappy with the no call for the tech because normally you cannot taunt your opponent. Can't even celebrate towards your opponent.
Exactly, because that happened a couple times when, I believe when we covered in Coneta, that San Juan Pampanga game, yung too small. Oh
right.
my gosh, it wasn't even directly at the player, and then our officials called the technical. It was, kumbaga sa panahon namin, ang tawag doon, KJ.
yeah, I understand. Hula ko si Orlan gumawa nun.
Ha?
Si Orlan?
Hindi si Orlan.
Hindi si Orlan.
Hindi
Kasi
si Orlan.
hilig ni Orlan yun eh.
Ha?
Hilig ni Orlan gawin yun
Oh,
eh.
para hindi gawin sa kanya. Inunahan na niya.
This is Jonathan Gray at the line. 7 points per game.
I must say, I've covered a lot of Biñan games, and I believe during those times that Gray was still in the injured list, maybe on the reserve list. This is the first time for me to see him in the flesh. He's taller
Yes.
than what I thought he was.
Exactly.
He's a big guard.
He's basically like a big man. You think about it.
He's a good 6'2", 6'3" guard.
Jonathan grew up here.
Right.
He went to school at CSA Biñan. And then he transitioned to CSB eventually in the PBA. Here he is. Bounce pass to Mark Pingris against Jed Diaz. Pingris, 9 on the shot clock. Hand off. Jonathan Gray, kick out. Pamboy hesitated. It's a 3.
The ball movement for Biñan, maybe one of their point of emphasis by Coach Boyet during halftime, because that has been evident in almost all of the possessions here in the third quarter.
We've seen 16 total assists in this matchup for Biñan Tatakjel. It is 57-35. presenting our Suzuki muscular and sporty fans of the game. Just like the Avenix, do more and achieve more with a muscular and sporty scooter from Suzuki. The Avenix, oras na para magmotor. We'd like to thank the ladies present with us here inside the Alontes Sports Arena in Biñan, Laguna.
And gentlemen.
Yes. Actually, inaantay ko nga rin yung yung mga Jinky Beauty na baka mag-feature na rin tayo ng gentlemen out there. Diba? Kasi never know, it might apply to them. And some kids as well. This is 57-35. Javelosa. De Vera, unable to convert. Rebound, Maestre. And we're back with Pamboy. Raimundo has 14 points in this game to lead the way. He's the only guy in double figures. Four minutes and 20. Pamboy Raimundo. 3 on the shot clock. Maestre will fire. In and out. Forward pass. Good steal by Pamboy. Jonathan Gray up top.
Pamboy's going to be open.
Jonathan decided to shoot. No good. Kenny with the board. Back with Jonathan Gray. Another shot. Different result.
The defense goes under. Jonathan Gray did not even think twice. Nice looking jump shot for the left-handed player.
Gray is now in double figures with 11 as Mark Nonoy is fouled. And isn't that good to see from Mark Nonoy, to see him driving? Because more often than not, he shoots from downtown.
Palitan na ng tao rito. 3:28 in the third. 4 fresh legs. 3 rather for Biñan. Maestre Pingris still inside the game.
Joining them are Alonte, Lastimosa, and Pido. Ronnie Alonte actually started this game. Nice box by Mark Pingris. That is... Oh, let me check his rebounds. Number 5 for him.
Seems to be more, huh?
Yeah. The leading rebounder is Pamboy Raimundo for Biñan.
Yeah, because of those quick 3 offensive rebounds. Talk about a 3. Lastimosa, mabilis na nagpakilala sa pagpasok niya. 3 points kagad dun sa corner.
Lastimosa now has 9. This is Mark Nonoy. Bounce pass, Larupay. There you go, over the 3-point mark.
Of the beautiful bounce pass from Mark Nonoy.
It's 63-37, under 3 minutes in the third. Alonte going to Pido. Back to Ronnie. Step back, 3-pointer, short. That could have brought the house down. Although I gotta give it to this guy, Coach Chris. Ronnie Alonte, we all know him as a celebrity. But he told me that this year was about him coming back to basketball, giving more dedication. He actually passed on some projects in show business in order to commit more time with Biñan to Takjel.
Counted!
Buzzer beater. Hindi, after the buzzer na yun.
Yan ang presence of mind
Ni Mark Nonoy.
ni Mark Nonoy. Kahit na alam niyang, may mali sa oras natin, siya lang ang nakakaalam.
It's going to be a sideline inbound. Ronnie Alonte had something given to him. Pulbo para hindi madulas. Larupay, no good. Rebound, Pido. The engineer surveys. JJ. Now, Nuevo is in the game for the first time.
Iloilo sticking to this 2-3 zone.
Fingers giving it out. Pido for 3. And he gives a kiss.
Yeah. Hey, when you're up by almost 30 points, kahit na 100 na kisses pa yan.
Yeah. And again, he's one of the more animated players that we have in the MPBL. Easily a crowd favorite. And this is another guy who fits in that storyline. Just had to make the most out of his minutes with Rizal. And now he's a part of a contending team. As Ronnie Alonte misfires. Yan ang inaantay ng Biñan crowd. It's another air ball for him.
Ayan.
Ayan na, tinutulungan na ni Mark Fingris.
That's what I love about Ping. Not only a competitor, but really, he's a showman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nagsama pa sila ni JJ Pido.
Oo.
Here's JJ. Maestre. And to Ronnie Alonte. The people want him to shoot.
He had 2 guys on him, though.
Pido. He's the one who's gonna deliver.
Ito si Pido, hindi ko alam kung lover boy. Kanina, 100 kisses. Ngayon, doon naman, parang Carmelo Anthony. So, ano to eh? Local international to eh. Si Pido. Nonetheless, what a quarter by Biñan.
25 points already.
Already, but limiting Iloilo to only 7.
Back inside the Alonte Sports Arena, it is a 32-point advantage for Biñan Tatakgel against Iloilo, 69-37. The difference is 18 in this quarter alone. As you can see, it is 25-7.
Coach Sapkuan, head coach right now, third head coach. Kaya nandito siya, no? May laro currently ang UST at Ateneo.
Right.
Who is also, he's a part of that coaching staff under Coach Pido.
Si Coach Mac din ba nasa UST?
No.
Hindi naman. This is Gab Gomez misfiring. And there's a loose ball foul. It's called on Chadi Rangel. 50 seconds remaining in the third. Anunuevo is back at it. Patrick Anunuevo. Maestre. Now it's Alonte. Back to Mike. Anunuevo. 6 seconds. JJ Pido. 3 seconds. JJ shoots. Short. If he actually made that one,
Yeah.
it would have been a more entertaining celebration. At the corner, it's JV Kapunan. Onto his cutter. A miss by Yongteco. 10 seconds. Pido slows down. Everybody's just wanting Ronnie Alonte to shoot. It's Anunuevo who will do it. Off to the right, and so we end the third quarter with a tally of 69-37.
What a big quarter by Biñan. And we could trace it back to that last 5 minutes of the second quarter wherein really they were able to build momentum. And then heading into the half, the point of emphasis of the ball movement, and that was evident. And at the same time, shooting the basketball, and their defense was outstanding.
This third quarter score is brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball lending partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Back here in Biñan, Laguna, this is Mix Comments alongside Coach Christian Luanzon and Megan Cabrera for your MPBL Wednesday. The crowd is obviously excited to see a basket from Ronnie Alonte, and it seems like this is our birthday boy. Yeah, happy birthday to Ferdy Madolid once again. Thank you for
So, double
your
pay nga.
service. Oo. Present siya dito sa Biñan.
Sabay kami pa uwi, Kuya Ferds.
Quarter scoring natin.
Kita natin Iloilo with a good start to this game. Lamang pa after 10 minutes. But that second quarter, 30-15, the third quarter. So that second and third combined, wow, a whopping 55-22.
Yeah.
It didn't even take me a calculator, an app to compute that.
Feeling ko nagkakahawaan na tayo dito eh.
And that's why ito na yung score natin yon, a 31-point blowout.
Although Alan Santos is still entertained. Wonder who's joking with him. Santos is being joined by Jay Javilosa, Mark Nonoy, Ray De La Rosa, and AJ Madrigal, who's been playing tough defense all night long. On the other end, it's JJ Pito with Ronnie Alonte, JR Alabanza, J. Margimpayan, and Pat Anunuevo. And here's Mark Nonoy straight to fifth gear. Nonoy spins and misses. Counter by JJ. Pito cross court. Ronnie Alonte fakes. Alonte, no good, no foul. It's Nonoy
Bilis.
playing track and field. That's a touchdown.
Kung tingin mo minsan, mas mabilis yung bola. Pero sa pagkakataon yun, parang mas mabilis si Nonoy doon sa bola.
Yes. Welcome back to Mark Nonoy. Almost in double figures in this matchup. We missed him for 2 months.
Mahirap na pasa yun. Hindi si Kiambao o si Mike Phillips yun. His former teammates from LaSalle.
Right.
Although taga-UP naman yun, si Madrigal. Pero malayo dun sa dalawang una kong binanggit.
69-40. JJ Pido. To Ronnie Alonte. Ronnie.
Yun!
Oh, up and under.
Jumordan!
Ronnie Alonte with a beautiful move.
Oh! Yun! Alam mo yung available na yung kaliwa, ni-reverse pa?
Yes.
Yun!
Oh, that's better than a 3 so
Put
far.
that in the highlight.
Will he do it again? Ronnie Alonte.
Jordan ulit!
That was
Sayang. Oo. Mas maganda sana yun kasi may sumabay eh.
short. Right.
Oo, pero uulitin natin yan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Ang ganda naman ng unang finish niya.
We'll have to wait for that as Alonte now inbounds. Pido to Gimpayan. Ronnie will fire. That's a 3. Ronnie Alonte.
Right.
Welcome home.
5 points, and I'm sorry to disappoint the Alonte fans. We just got word na we're having technical difficulties sa slow-mo namin. So, for those watching on YouTube, on Facebook,
Rewind nyo na lang.
mag-self-rewind na lang kayo.
Alonte, though, is on a roll now with 5 points, a 2 and a 3. By the way, this should be his MPBL career high. Let's see if he can continue. JJ Pido is fouled. Basket and 1. Pido has a dozen. And it's another celebration. Nabangga siya ni J. Margimpayan.
Now they're having fun. Talk about Biñan, and as you mentioned, JJ Pido, one of the more entertaining players of Biñan behind the Sakuragi.
This could be the biggest win of Biñan to Takjel. Let me double check. As well as a career high of Ronnie Alonte.
May turo pa sa bench eh. Ito si Pido.
JJ. Pass inside. Reverse for Jay Javelosa.
5 points in the game. Had a 3 in the first half.
Ano nuevo? That's a turnover. Pass was too wide. It's a three-pointer on the other end for Rai De La Rosa. Pido down the middle. Nice feed onto Gimpayan. De La Rosa on the other end. Back-to-back threes.
They're just... Well, still 6 minutes remaining, pero I'm just waiting for the final score here as Alabanza misses.
The biggest win of Biñan was by 20 so far in this season, so this should be it after tonight as Nonoy makes a three-pointer.
How about that? 9 straight points, all from downtown by Iloilo. Still a 28-point game.
Pat ano nuevo? Onto Ronnie Alonte. Screen by Gimpayan. Alonte, he's feeling it. Ronnie leans in. No good. Gimpayan for the putback.
He just has a nose for the ball. Alam mo, hirap kunin ng mga rebounds na yan, ha? Yung mga either air ball that's short or an air ball that's long.
As this is the fourth straight three-pointer of Iloilo with Gab Gomez converting. Back to J. Gimpayan. He's been doing it since his Val City days.
Right.
Kumbaga, yun yung coming out story niya eh. Nasa Valenzuela pa lang siya. Iba pa nga yung home court nila nun eh. Remember the Valenzuela Astrodome? That was a nice home court.
Yep.
As Alan Santos scores on the other end.
Both teams really in pickup mode right now.
Pido bounces. That's a foul by Alan Santos. Two fouls on Kuya Alan. Velosa sits down. Diaz returns. J. Gimpayan is at the stripe. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Now, in terms of best rebounders in MPBL history so far.
Ito na naman tayo.
Ito na naman tayo. I bring it up. I can bring it up with
I'm
you.
going for Marquis.
Yeah.
I'm
But
going for
after Marquis, dyan na papasok yung mga
I'm going for Baltasar.
Baltazar.
Baltasar, at the rate he's going, he's not gonna end up in the history because he's, you know,
Mawala siya eh.
2 seasons na lang siya eh. And then maybe, you know, he could come back, who knows. But the king right now, not right now, but who holds the record, I would assume, is Marquis.
Yeah. But my argument to you is, who would come after him, after Balti as well? As Alonte now has his career high of 7, surpassing his 5.
Well, that's something we're gonna have to search sa records natin.
Yeah. Gab Gomez will fire a 3. Oh, ito na naman si JJ Pido. Natamaan sa mukha ni Alan Santos. Good sportsmanship between those two. Under 4.5 minutes to go. This is Joseph Peña Redondo. He will fire. Short. Rebound, Rangel. Cross court. Mark Nonoy. Dribble, pull up, make. Mark Nonoy now has 15, surpassing a season average of 12. Alonte attacks. Alonte has 9.
I believe he has 11.
As Mark Nonoy continues to score. Yep, you are correct. Ronnie Alonte has 11 points. So he has doubled, or more than doubled, his previous career high of 5, which he scored versus Bulacan. Ano Nuevo. Screen by Chong. Oh, Peña Redondo wasn't ready for it. Kapunan returns. 88-62, 3 minutes in change. Cross court. Nonoy will fire again. Yes, sir.
Oh, he's piling up those threes. Pang ilan na yan? Pang 5?
It's a total of 6 threes for Mark Nonoy. A turnover by Ronnie. Forward pass, Nonoy. He's up in the 20s.
Pero nagpapasab na si Nonoy. Napagod na rin.
Napapagod din pala si Mark Nonoy.
Tao rin pala.
Oo. It's the first time that I've ever seen him like that. Cagliari, no good. And there's a foul. As Raimundo,
Yeah.
Pingris, and Roca Curva are set to
Papasok.
return.
Oh, with 2:29 remaining.
Where's Ronnie Alonte? Oh, he's now on the bench. So that's it for him. In the last home game of Biñan, Pingris actually gave us a buzzer-beating dunk. Let's see if he can give us a show before this night ends. 2 minutes and 20 remaining. That's a foul. Nagkatamaan sina Chadi Rangel at Mark Pingris.
Kauntugan.
Obviously unintentional. Chadi's bleeding.
Oh,
And Pingris is helping him out. He needs some tending to. That's a mandatory substitution.
saka malakas ha.
Yeah,
Malakas yung
bleeding.
bleeding.
All right, we'll let them sort this out. Rangel, that's good. He's on his feet, but yeah, he will have to be subbed out. It's just a freak accident.
Yeah, incidental.
How about Mark Pingris going to the bench of Iloilo, tending to Chadi Rangel? Such a kuya figure here in the MPBL. Mark will have to come back though.
Yeah,
I think he just had to wipe his hands as well.
right. Because he shook the hand of Rangel. Kaya napunta rin na yung dugo sa kanyang mga kamay.
Kapunan, short, rebound Pamboy. It's been that kind of a night for Pamboy Raimundo. With 8 boards and 14 points to his name. A steal by Alan Santos. One-on-one action. Alan fakes and misses. These last 2 minutes are brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, Game X. Halyare pulls up, short. Rebound Diaz. And here's JV Kapunan. Under 100 seconds to go. Kapunan. Shot off there by Peña Redondo. It's Alan Santos who fires and misses. Rebound number 9 for Pamboy. Forward to Junji Halyare. First 2 points in this game for Junji Halyare. We have 3 remaining players who haven't scored for Biñan in Maestre, Peña Redondo, and Ano Nuevo. This is Pamboy Raimundo. To Junji. Another basket.
Junji Halyare, I remember him maybe from the second season. He was a nice player. Now, obviously, 4, 5 years later, which is now, still in good shape, but not as athletic as I remember him. He started out his MPBL career, if I'm not mistaken, with Basilan.
Yeah.
That was under Coach Gerson Cabildes.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe season 3, yeah.
Oh, yun yung umabot sila ng division finals.
No. The first season, they were a non-playoff team.
Nung Dennis Daa pa.
I believe so.
Dennis Daa days pa yun. Andun na si Junji. By then.
From what I remember, yeah.
Kasi season 3, Alin Bulanadi na yun eh.
Kasi player din ni Coach Gino.
St. Clair.
Manansalo, yeah.
He's an undersized 4, no?
Yeah.
All his life.
But, he has that ability to drive and shoot as well.
And he definitely fights hard in the interior, just like that. This would be the biggest win of Biñan Tatakgel in their campaign. Final score would be 97-67, a 30-point victory. Congratulations to Biñan, they will get their 7th straight victory. Great momentum heading on to their last 2 games versus Marikina and Mindoro.
Mark Pringles, as you see on your screens, heading towards once again to Chadi Rangel. Unfortunate incident, even though this game was decided already pretty much after the end of the third quarter. Sometimes, hindi mo maiwasan yung mga ganitong pangyayari, but it still happens. And our BPG, nagkaroon na kayo ng glimpse.
Yeah, for the first time in his MPBL career, on his career night, more than doubling his previous career high of 5 points, it is Ronnie Alonte. He finishes with a total of 11 points on 5 out of 11 shooting, which is decent.
Yeah.
45%.
Tsaka kung di ako nagkakamali, halos lahat yan sa second half.
Yes.
Yung 11 niya, no?
There's Vice Mayor Jel Alonte. Si Ronnie, ang ating best player of the game, brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dito sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. So, of the 11, 9 came in the second half for Ronnie Alonte. He's getting ready for his interview with Megan Cabrera. But now we present to you our final score, brought to you by GameX. GameX Sports, the official online basketball and partner of the MPBL. Basta ending, GameX. Megan, take it away.
Maraming salamat, Migs. Sabi nyo nga, kasama ko na ang ating best player of the game, Ronnie Alonte. 11 points, 9 points doon. Nasa fourth quarter. You have a new career high and you said you really wanted to focus on basketball this time around at talagang prioritize mo siya. Anong masasabi mo tungkol sa payoff na yon?
Hinawakan kasi ni Mark yung kamay ko kaya nagtuloy-tuloy ako eh. Hindi, pero ayun. Masaya kasi syempre ito yung first best player ko. Ilang beses na ako naglaro sa MP. Hindi ko pa din mabalik yung kumpiyansa ko. So thank you din kay Coach Boyat na binibigyan niya ako ng oras para makuha ko yung kumpiyansa ko, mabalik ko. So ayun.
Na-mention mo nga yung epekto ni Mark Pingre sa'yo. Pero aside from hinawakan niya yung kamay mo, napansin namin kahit sa mga pre-game na practice ay tinutulungan ka niya. Ano ba yung usually na binibigyan niyang advice at guidance sa'yo?
Tagapagpalakas ko kasi ng loob yan si Ping. Dati pa, yung nag-start pa lang ako sa MP. Tapos siya din yung nag-offer din, isa sa mga nag-offer sa akin na, Ron, try mo mag-MP. And yun, kaya sa training, sa game, bago maglaro, lagi niya akong tinuturuan. Kaya yun, ginagabayan niya ako, ginagabayan.
Big 30-point win para sa Biñan dito mismo sa Alonte Sports Arena. Ano masasabi mo sa talagang nilaro ng team ninyo?
Sobrang ganda nung laban. Binigay din ng Iloilo, binigay din namin yung best namin. And yun, yun lang.
Chance mo na para sa mga shoutouts at pagpapasalamat.
Ayun, pinapasalamatan ko lahat ng sumusuporta sa akin, sa mga fans, sa mga fans ko, sa fans namin, ng Biñan, kay Mark, sa girlfriend ko, kay Loisa, sa family ko, sa manager ko, Star Magic, sa mga coaches, kay Jojo, syempre kay Vice Gel, shoutout sa inyo, and maraming salamat sa suporta na binibigyan niyo at tiwala. God bless you all. I love you.
Congrats to you and your team, Ronnie. Once again, our best player of the game is brought to you by Daily Fantasy. Dahil sa Daily Fantasy, hawak mo ang laro. Migs and Coach Christian.
This is just more proof that Ronnie Alonte is legit. He used to play for Perpetual back in the NCAA South in his young days with Coach Jerry Andalion and company. He was supposed to play in the MPBL pre-pandemic, but because of an injury, he wasn't able to do so. He had his second chance this year in our 6th campaign with the inspiration and the motivation of Mark Pingris among others. He took a break, or at least he did not accept all of his opportunities in the acting and showbiz industry in order to focus with Biñan Tatakjel, and now it is all worth it for Ronnie Alonte. Thank you for joining us, folks. For Megan Cabrera and Coach Christian Luanzon, this is Mix Gomez. Congratulations to Biñan. At ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.